So anyway guys, so what I'm doing now is I'm helping myself to do some audio programs over here, because I understand that time shall pass by, but I'm making sure that I can go and grow myself differently so I can help myself to improve. So I'm making sure that no matter what, I record my life while at it, and while walking throughout my life, and while doing something to walk around, just go and give you guys some words of encouragement. So I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand straight away that I'm doing a great job, and that's why I'm understanding straight away that I'm promoting myself anyway. I'm promoting myself in a better way. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to do better. I want to help myself to I see how other people are, and they have something that I really understand, something that people all have something in life, and everybody has a different lifestyle completely. So you have to find yourself important throughout life. You have to find yourself alone anyway. So you have to find yourself making sure that you understand straight away that recently I had my phone call with Centrelink, and I accidentally did press the pause and play button from the earphones cable, and it did disconnect me from the actual phone call, and that was a mistake. So I learned something. I learned how to bypass that, and I learned how to help myself in the process of just doing a nice and different job for myself differently, and I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm doing a better job for myself regardless of the situation. I'm learning how with a car, at most I go to Liverpool at most with a car, so I have no need for a car, I promise you. And it's much more how it is, so I had to get rid of the car because at the moment I never need a car in my life, and it's more how I feel, yeah. And no matter what I'm doing a great life for myself. I'm looking at different aspects of life. I'm looking to enjoy myself differently. I'm learning that nice and beautiful difference. I'm learning the difference of life every day. And that's how I feel. I can make music today, and it's much more how I feel. So I have to stick to the 1 hour rule, because I feel I've been travelling, but I'm travelling to the same areas. I feel that family is now with me when I travel. That's what I'm saying. I'm travelling through words of encouragement, and I'm learning how to dwell upon life much greater. So on the disability support pension over here in Australia, I can live all my life. I can at least live my life, and it's all the government's money anyway. It's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to help myself to dwell upon a better life for myself over here. I'm learning to understand straight away how I need to grow. And I need to grow myself differently, yeah? I'm learning to help myself to love life. I need to love life differently. I feel it's much more how I feel anyway. And I need to escape a better way for myself to improve. I have to improve about my life. And if you improve about your life, I'm sure you'll find something that happens. I could see straight away how Tiesto has hundreds of podcasts. I mean, how can people even catch up to that? I understand? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, all that matters is the video that you're posting now. And that's it. That's much more how I feel. I'm learning very quickly about life and popularity and stuff like that, so I'm learning to understand that I gave it a go. And that's what you guys need to do. So you guys need to give it a go. And it's much more how it feels. And you have to promote yourself around life, and you have to make money. I promise you that if you get really good at something, then you have to teach people how you've done it. You have to do it for free. So if you have to teach people how you've done it and how you have all that money, and that's it. I mean, do it for free as well. While money's coming into your account. I realise anyway. So what's important is understanding that no matter what, for example myself over here, I can get a disability support pension, which helps me to live in Australia for free, and there's no worries about that, but it's more how I feel. I'm alone anyway, and I'd rather be on a disability support pension than having to work a 9-to-5 job. And I'm learning very quickly about how that's all going away as well, and I'm learning very quickly about life and how I need to go and enjoy my life. Yeah, I'm learning the difference. I'm learning the differences of art. I'm learning how to enjoy myself differently. So anyway, I'm learning to become the best version of myself. Yeah, but I'm learning how life is different, and life means having to become the best version of yourself so you can understand straight away. So no matter what I'm doing a great way of life for myself. And I have my bus coming over here now. So it's much more how I feel, and how I feel is a different way of life, and it's much more how I feel. And I feel different. So anyway, so it's much more how I feel. I'm learning that nice and beautiful architecture. I'm learning to persuade myself to do better. I give a business card to the person. So it's much more how I understand to love my life differently, and I'm learning very quickly. I'm learning something in the midst of everything. So it's much more how I feel. I'll give this guy my business card on. So anyway, yeah, I never wants my business card. Silence. So that'll be. So it's much more how if people never want your business card, then you never need to give it to them. So just focus on helping yourself to improve yourself anyway, and find something else to do in the midst of everything. And the best way is silence. So you have to understand straight away that if you're growing yourself and you're making sure that you're lifting yourself up in the nice and beautiful accommodation centre that you have, and you're looking for better ways to improve, and you're making sure that no matter what, that your words are happening in terms of life, and you're making sure that you have a nice and beautiful way forward, learning. You guys have to be learning something here. And you have to understand straight away how it feels to grow. So no matter what, just learn how to grow yourself in the process of life. So that's what I'm doing always. I'm learning to help myself in the process of what I'm doing, yeah? I'm learning to do something different. I'm learning how to live my life differently, so it's not sure how I feel, so make sure you're learning very quickly how to help yourself. So help yourself in a way. So it's much more how you need to grow yourself, yeah? And to grow yourself you have to be able to live your life, so loving your life differently and making sure that you're becoming somebody in the process is very important. So making sure that no matter what that you're speaking much greater is very important for you to deliver information. So I'm learning very quickly about how to talk to people positively, but no matter what, I see that doctor over there wants me to do better. And he actually wants me to do far worse. Somehow it works out for me in terms of what he wants for my life. And it's much more how I feel. No matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life, yeah? I'm learning to help myself to do greater now. I'm learning to understand straight away how I feel. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm learning how to help myself to achieve a greater way of life. So it's more how I understand straight away. I need to find myself differently. So it's much more how I need to develop. So as I develop, I look for a better way. So I'm learning that not to loop technique, yeah? I'm learning how you have to help yourself, yeah? So as you help yourself, you're looking for a better way. That's the whole point. So the whole point is understand how it affects your material and your content and your words, guys, and making sure that no matter what, that you're improving your way of life through better ways of thinking and strategizing. And that way you're learning very much more. You're learning much more about how it feels to, and you're learning how to succeed. And that's how you have to understand straight away how to deliver content, yeah? So it's much more how it is, yeah? So no matter what, learn to appreciate yourself. And to appreciate yourself, you guys need to learn how it is to manifest much more words. Of course, you must understand straight away how in my life over here, I'm ahead of my content, I'm ahead of the game. I never eat olives anymore because they're high in sodium, and that's why. And it's high in fat as well. So what I do is I do a great job. I understand sure I could have had some hummus from that shop over there in Liverpool, and I say Liverpool Woolworths has hummus that I need. So anyway, see as I grow myself differently, I'm looking to help myself to enjoy my life. And I'm succeeding, yeah? I'm succeeding for myself, so no matter what I'm doing is I'm learning how to help myself to lift myself in my information moving forward, because it's better than just walking. Actually, I'm lifting myself in the process of talking to you guys. So for myself to improve, I feel no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about how to come back to the word I daily, and I'm learning how to erupt in a better way. I'm learning how to enjoy myself differently. But it's not how I feel. See, it's much more how I need to love my life, so it's much more how I'm looking to help myself. But life is different for everybody. And for my life especially, it's different, so I need to help myself to grow. So as I help myself grow, I'm learning how to love my life differently, so I'm learning very quickly about life. And that's how I feel. I feel no matter what, I feel different. I'm learning anyway. I'm learning that nice and beautiful feeling of life. So it's much more how I feel. And it's much more how you guys need to have money on the table today. And you have to put, you have to put your life at hand to do greater. I see it's much more how I feel. I feel that no matter what, I'm looking to see how the 1 hour rule is much better than having to travel to all these places, because I am the way. There's only so much you can see today in terms of the physical world. There's only so much you can see in the physical world. You must understand that it's much more about moving inward than it is moving outward. And that's how it is. So learn to see that for yourself and learn to become the greatest version of yourself. So I'm learning how to help myself to overcome that situation or whatever it is. I'm learning to become the best version of myself. So as I'm really growing, I'm understanding how I can place my music over here in better ways, and how I can put snare hits just before a transition, and how I can actually understand to put a riser that rises during a beat of the drop as well, and how I can put a nice and beautiful vocal just before the snare beats or just before a transition as well, and something just to signify just before the move into the next track or next transition. I can signify a sound effect that says, hey, this is happening and something else is happening now and something's coming in, and I understand straight away how I can feel. And I'm learning very quickly about life, and that's how it is. And that's how I'm learning very quickly about how you can put a nice and beautiful small kick and small kick drum that sounds much better, and you can learn how to grow yourself differently. And it's all how different it is and how different you have to be. And it's much more how I feel, and how I feel is different. So it's much more how I need to grow myself regardless of the situation. See, since the coronavirus pandemic has been going on, see, there's no soccer games going on. See, there's also no Toastmasters going on. But Toastmasters is all happening online now. See, it's much more how different it all is. So I'm looking to see exactly how different I am. I feel different, and I'm looking to see exactly my dad's gone somewhere. I have to deliver content. I see it's much more how it is. See, it's how I feel, and how I feel is different. So I'm feeling that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about how to deliver content. But as I really deliver content, I'm looking for better ways to improve. I'm looking for myself to improve my life, and it's much more how I feel different. Feel 1 hour rule is much better, and it's much better to conserve my body to be indoors rather than outdoors, so I can go and live my life much more differently, and so I can do greater. It's just the way it is, and I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about my life. And that's all I have to understand straight away, how to love my life. See, life is tough when you're doing the 6 p.m. rule. See, why is that? See, it's much more how you need to watch out, and it's much more how I need to call Centrelink now. I need to get my benefits in hand, and it's much more how I feel different. I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm doing something different anyway, but it's more how I feel, and how I feel is different, and I'm learning from the process as well. I'm learning anyway to eat something now, so I can grow myself. So anyway, so as I'm really growing myself now, guys, I'm making sure that I'm looking for better ways to improve. But how I talk to myself all day long is just the way I talk to you guys. So I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about just understanding myself and my true life and what I need to do around life, and making sure that no matter what, I'm looking for a better way forward. So for myself over here, at least, I'm understanding how people are. I'm understanding how I can go across life differently, and how I can actually help myself to do greater for myself differently. And I'm making sure no matter what, I'm looking for better ways of improving. And I'm making sure I'm learning very quickly about life. And I'm helping myself to do a dance of courage with myself, to help myself to do greater for myself. And that's how I feel. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life itself, and I'm helping myself to do greater for myself. So making sure anyway that what I want to do now is learn to help myself to grow, and I'm growing myself differently, and I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm looking for better ways to improve. So what I can do now is just help myself to improve myself, and that's it. I'm looking to help myself to strategize for myself to grow, and that's how I feel. I feel very different. I feel alive. I feel much better than yesterday. I'm feeling my doctrines in terms of life is nice and beautiful and different. And I'm learning very quickly about how to actually become a star for myself. So I'm understanding straight away how I can live my life differently, and how I can actually understand something nice and beautiful. I see anyway. I see it's much more how I feel. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm looking for better ways of improving, and I'm learning to persuade myself to love life differently, and that's how I feel. I feel that if you have any ways of improving your life differently, that you're always surrounding yourself with the best kind of way forward, and that you're always looking for a way to improve your life differently, and you're just understanding straight away how to understand straight away your life in different ways. And no matter what that you're learning, you're learning something different, and that way you're more available toward life, and you're living a greater way of life differently, and you're able to do life nice and beautifully, to price yourself in a greater attempt to live life much greater, and to understand straight away how services happen and to the best of us, and how you can actually learn how to be practical with what you're doing. And if you're doing a great job for yourself, you're learning very quickly about what you need to do to succeed differently, and you're learning much more quicker the art of persuasion, and you're learning something different, and it's much more how you have to understand straight away to love life differently is the way to go and the way to be. But that's the only way forward that you can understand straight away how to love your life differently, and it's much more how it is. I see straight away how it is, and I'm doing a greater job. See guys, if you're sleeping too much like I am, then guess what, Barushi, you must understand straight away that you need to go and grow up, and you need to go and talk more words throughout the day to live your life much greater. So no matter what, I understand that I was sleeping too much before, and now I'm doing much better, but because I was sleeping up too much, I was very much afraid of life. I was afraid of life because I'm alone, and that's it. I'm alone to be myself over here, and that's how I'm understanding straight away that I'm looking for greater ways of dealing with life. I'm looking to help myself to explain something about life. I'm looking to go pick up my mail. I'm looking to go silently to go get my mail from the post office over there, and I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand straight away that I need to go and grow myself differently, but I'm enjoying myself over here. I need to go and talk to myself over here. I need to talk it out with myself to actually have a greater time with myself. I need to actually study upon helping myself to deliver content very quickly, because I need to be much more alive than usual. I need to make sure that I'm doing something today to help myself move forward, especially now more than ever. And that way I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to practice in audio programs at least something about life in terms of motivation and what I'm doing with drive and techniques and ways of being. I'm looking to understand. I dreamt a lot about my dad, and about sex, and about being much more in empathy toward myself, and being much more realistic to understand that I am the way. I see now, for myself at least, I understand straight away that no matter what, that if you're doing anything to sleep much more than you are, making sure that no matter what, that you only sleep because you really feel fatigue, and never because you just want to sleep. Make sure you understand there's a big difference. Now what I'm doing now for myself is I'm learning to walk around, I'm learning to talk it out with myself, I'm learning to help myself to explain something for myself, that I have a great time for myself over here in different ways, and I'm looking to learn something today. I'm looking to help myself to learn something, and I'm looking to understand straight away that I need to go and grow myself differently. So what I want to do is I want to go get my passport from the post office, and once I get my passport, I can just relax. I can go and do my life differently, and I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm looking at how other people have a greater life than me, in terms of how. They never have a greater life, but I feel that they are traveling and they have more knowledge than me in something. That's what I'm actually looking at. They have more knowledge than me in something. Or it's more about their life story. Or they have more knowledge than me in their life story, and that's it. But now I understand that I'm equal to them in this story. I'm understanding that my story is different. I'm understanding straight away how I feel no matter what. I feel different. I feel that no matter what, that I'm learning to help myself to explain something much greater. I'm learning to go and walk it up. I just go outside and walk it for a bit outside, and I learn that way. I learn to help myself to find a strategy to help myself. So I'm always helping myself grow. I'm helping myself to live a long life. I'm understanding something. I'm understanding that I'm understanding that no matter what I do, I'm looking for a better way of improving myself today. And I'm alone, but for the first time ever, I slept so much. I slept more than enough, and I was never even that, let's say, in fatigue about sleeping. But now, since I'm actually doing a greater life over here, I'm making sure that I understand something. I'm understanding to just keep going and to keep opening up about my story and who I am. And that way I'm learning very quickly about loving my life, and I'm looking to understand something, that my life is different and that money is never the way, but audio programs is the way. I should understand something about this life, and this life is different for everybody, that no matter what I'm doing, that I just need to accumulate more success for myself. So what's the next stage of success for me? I understand just more words. The more words I can give in this lifetime, the more success I can have personally. And that's it. There's no other way to success other than speaking more words. You must understand this. You must understand that. If you just stick to the way of reading more while speaking more words, then you can accumulate more success for yourself, and that's it. That's it. You must understand straight away how I feel. I feel different. I feel I have much more time and success in my bag, but I feel that no matter what, that I'm lacking a lot. I'm never lacking. I'm just somebody who needs to do a greater job in terms of communicational speeches. I have to do a greater way. I have to do a greater way of talking to you guys, and that's it. It's much more how I feel. And no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life. I'm learning to understand sleep and what sleep really is around my life every single day. I'm learning to understand straight away to just talk it all out. And as I talk it all out, I'm talking it in a video program and also audio program. And I'm learning to help myself to deliver information services. And that's it. You must understand straight away that as I grow myself differently, I'm looking for better ways of thinking and better ways of doing stuff, and I'm looking to explain how alone I feel. And yes, I feel alone, but I need to go and grow up. I need to go and see straight away that I need to love life, and that's it. You must understand straight away that no matter what I'm doing, that I'm always learning. I'm learning the best kind of ways moving forward. I'm making sure I can give more words of encouragement. I'm looking for better ways to deal with my life, and that's how I feel. I feel that no matter what, that there's a better way to explain something, and that's how I actually understand. So I explain it. I explain everything in a audio program and video program, and I understand straight away that no matter what I'm doing, that I'm succeeding differently, and that I'm learning very quickly. about the art of making sure that no matter what, I can get my dad's car in silence and I can go to a nice beautiful store and get what I need to do in terms of get what I need for today. I'm making sure that no matter what, that I'm learning very quickly about life, so every single time I'm learning to appreciate myself. I'm making sure that no matter what, I can go and read, and I can read something, for example, that's going to help my life to succeed daily. And I have to find myself alone, because with myself alone, I should always feel much more passion and courage moving forward. And I feel that no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about life and how alone I feel. So no matter what, it's much more how I need to learn how to live with myself being alone. And I have to understand straight away that it's much more how it is. That I'm alone, but never alone. I'm alone, but never alone. And I have to prosper in what I'm doing. And now my YouTube channel is something different. I focus on helping myself to do something new and totally new that I've never done on my YouTube channel, but what I can do on my YouTube channel is keep going with the process of whatever I'm doing in terms of 1 hour videos per day. And I try to at least do 1 hour videos per day. And if not, then I do some continuation of something nice and beautiful for myself, where I'm learning how to do something regardless of the situation. And I'm learning how to actually love my life differently. And I'm learning to understand straight away that no matter what, I'm learning to do my best job I can, so I can go and prosper, and so I can go and defeat my rivals and enemies, which is my physical world. So no matter what, it's much more how the physical world's good, but no matter what, that my enemies and rivals is never the physical world, and it's just how I say it, which is just the negative talk that I may talk out. So I understand straight away I can never talk negative, so I can do greater. I understand straight away for myself over here, it's much more how I need to love myself. And everybody's showing success at some point, and everybody has success to some degree. So what I'm doing is learning how to be successful, for myself at least. And I'm looking to help myself to love life. But no matter what I'm doing, I'm very different. And now, with having kids and a wife and stuff like that, it's more how I need to go and be in agreement with life. And I need to agree, and I need to accept what comes. And I need to accept everything, and I have to have a conversation with people. And I have to agree with them and never disagree with people. And that way I'm much more somebody who agrees only. So when it comes to people talking about me negatively, I have to agree with them. So if somebody says that anything about negativity in terms of my life for me to be negative, I just say, I agree with you. I agree with you. And that way I'm learning to agree with what's going on. But anyway, I promise you, I'm learning how, if anything strikes me as negative that other people talk about with me, or if anything strikes me as negative, I have to show the words that I agree with you. I have to say I agree with you. I mean, you understand? I mean, every single time I'm learning something different. I'm learning the key out of differences to plan my life ahead of the game, and I need to go and help myself to do better, to get my passport as well, and to plan my life ahead of the game. And no matter what, that's much more how I never see the dog sleeping so much. I understand straight away how I have to sleep with the 1 hour rule, which the 1 hour rule is how my sleep goes. So I'm understanding straight away how I need to do that for myself. And every single time I'm learning how to understand straight away that no matter what, I'm learning how to move up in my systems, and I'm moving up in my way of life here in terms of different ways of being. And I need to grow myself differently. I need to help myself to embark in a better direction. So no matter what I'm doing a greater job for myself to run amok in a better way. And I'm learning very quickly to understand straight away that I'm coming back to the word I. But since I came back to the word I so much in my language, I'm understanding that's a successful attempt to say that I'm very positive about situations, I'm very positive about everything, but I never felt obligated in I to do much more words in I. So I'm understanding straight away to do much more words in I regardless, and to just forget the past and move on and just learn from the past. And that's it, I promise you. What happens is that I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm understanding that I can only see a month ahead now with the 9 to 5 jobs out there. I can see 1 month at a time ahead, and I'll never be that way. Which I may have to work a 9 to 5 job, but only for 15 hours a week. But for now, I just keep going. And I'm learning very quickly about life and techniques, and I'm helping myself to learn something new. And since they want to get me also on disability support pension, I'm understanding straight away that I can get disability support pension, but it requires me to change my address as well, and it requires me to start working maybe. So I have to see what's going to happen with all that. And I'm learning very quickly about loving my life and what I need to do. So I'm actually understanding straight away how I feel. I feel that no matter what, that as I'm learning very quickly about life, that I'm learning how I need to be more successful. And now, what can I do to become more successful? I have to work a 9 to 5 job eventually anyway, to get some money together, to have a family, and to also DJ. And now I understand there are many people in the world who work a 9 to 5 job, and I'm not the only one. I mean, every single time now I'm learning that the more I speak words of encouragement, the more I speak in terms of words, the more smarter I am about life, and the smarter I am, the better I feel. But I feel that no matter what, I'm learning how to just do life coaching and to let go and let God. I mean, yes, then I let go and let God do it. I let God do all the work. I mean, yes, then so as I feel throughout life to do something for nothing, I'm understanding that I have to be talking more words to explain myself and to do something nice and beautiful for myself. So no matter what, I'm learning very quickly about how to go around my situations and go around words of conduct and everything to continue my life forward. And to continue my life doing much greater, I need to go and pick up my passport. I need to go and do a greater job for myself regardless of the situation. And I need to help myself to deliver information services. So I'm understanding straight away that no matter what I'm doing, I'm doing a new life, I'm doing something new for myself. I'm making sure that I have that nice and beautiful way of life to deliver content. And I have plenty of time to do music production now, for the next month at least. And I'm learning something new. I'm learning to help myself to deliver content. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning how people want to put me on medication. And now, if I give the worst evidence to support my way of life over here, in terms of ways of life, I'm just understanding to just stay positive with everything, and that way I'm doing much greater. I feel much greater like this. I feel no matter what, that my $1 million of plastic money is my words, and that's something I have already. And I'm learning very quickly about helping myself to understand something, that no matter what I'm doing, that I'm learning to achieve much more clarity in life. I'm learning to have that nice and beautiful saying, to have greater glory in life, to succeed differently, and to make sure I'm very different in regards to what I'm doing. And I feel different. I feel that if I gain some friends today, actually what happens is time runs out for me. So I have to understand straight away that I have friends in my word. I have friends in my words. I have enough friends. And all I need is I. I just need I only. I just need I only. So every single time I'm learning very quickly about life, making sure I'm doing a great job for myself. I'm doing a great job for myself. I'm making sure that I'm helping myself to grow, and that way I'm learning very quickly about life. So what I want to do is help myself to have information services, and I'm learning quickly about life. I'm learning how to understand straight away the nice and beautiful, in terms of nice and beautiful way forward for me today is to go get my passport. And now for myself to do that now, Brunshy, guess what, Brunshy, let's go and see this, Brunshy, I have to go and get my passport. So now's the best time to do that, and I have to get myself food and drinks. So I get myself some chickpeas, and I just keep going all the way and make sure I have success at my doorstep. I'm learning quickly to just go in silence and to just demand it. See, so what I want to do is help myself to lift myself to process information, and I'm doing that to help myself to grow. So what I do is I get myself 1 soy milk, and I get myself 1 lentils, and I help myself to get my passport first. I get my passport first. I bring the nice and beautiful. I bring the nice and beautiful ticket, and it's a ticket that helps me to get my passport. I close the shoulder bag, and I make sure that I'm learning very quickly that there are plenty of people who are doing far worse than me. I'd say these people around me, I promise you, they're doing far worse to me. I promise you, they're Serbian people. I see Serbian people in Australia. I promise you, they just have a 9-to-5 job and a woman and kids. And that's all they have. So they have a girlfriend and kids. I mean, you understand? So that way I'm doing much greater for myself. And I need to go and dwell upon reading. Yeah, I need to read something. I'm just going to read something as I go over there to the store to get something to eat. See guys, so I'm just delivering content right now to make sure that no matter what, that my life is going uphill in terms of what's going on, and I'm learning how friendships die off and families get small. And you have to understand that over time, everybody's living alone over time, and you have to understand straight away that life is different and life happens to everybody. But since I'm actually moving overseas and I'm moving my world overseas, I'm understanding something. I'm understanding there's only so much time left with my dad this year. Probably this year, and that's it. Probably next year, it's time to fly overseas next year, and it's one of the last times I'll see my dad for a long time, because I'm sticking to Germany and I'm staying in Germany. So because of that, I'm understanding that what I need to do is deliver content, and I need to help myself to have a greater time for myself. So what I want to do is help myself to see a greater way of life. And I also need to tell my social worker, I need to show my social worker the information of me going overseas and on what day it is especially. And once I get the dates, I am leaving this country of Australia to go to another country to love my life and to do a great way of life. So what I want to do is especially make music now. And now, do I want to make music or do I want to read by music? First, it's more that I just go and deliver content to understand straight away that reading content is something different that I can do. But it's more how I feel. I feel there's only so much more time left until I go overseas, and I have to get myself the DJ deck. And our DJ deck is next for me. I have to get myself a DJ deck, and then eventually from that point, I promise you, after DJ deck, it's go to a nightclub. I have plenty of time to go to nightclubs, to produce my music and to play my music. And I understand straight away that I have to give money for that. A little bit that way. For sure, I've been living in Australia for free, and I've been making a lot of ways of life and living like I'm broke. But I'm never broke, because I always have money. And especially these days, I'm making my heart known. I'm making myself worth it. I'm making my life worth it in a better way and direction. And I'm learning how to grow myself differently, and I'm helping myself to dwell upon life much greater. So I'm understanding that what I want to do is show myself a better way, to understand that the dog has no technology and lives without technology and is unaware about technology as well. But dogs and non-human animals are only aware of what they are in terms of the silent language of life. But they're aware of silent language. But they're unaware. But they're aware that it's something to do with the world. That's technology. But they're more aware of anything that's never human language. I mean, do you understand? But they understand humans. But they're aware of humans. But I just understand that they're unaware of the words we say as humans. And they just never do what we humans do. So they do something different, but if you copy non-human animals and how they live life, then you can understand straight away how they show you straight up what they want to do, and they're very honest with you. And dogs are very honest and loyal. I mean, they show you really exactly as they are. And they never try to make you angry. Dogs and non-human animals never try to make you angry. But if you're next to a wild beast like a lion, I mean, a lion may attack you, but why are you even there in the first place? Apparently, anything that's afraid is angry. And you must understand straight away that fear is also anger. And you must understand how you need to dwell upon better ways of thinking and better ways of doing. But you also, you guys also need to have better language skills. And you need to have you guys have to have better ways of dealing with life as well. And you have to showcase yourself as something greater. And you need to show much more appreciation for something that actually works out for you. But what works out for everybody is different. And everybody's different in life. And you have to understand that. Like I say, you guys have to be showing more courage in between life, making sure that you're more beautiful and less arrogant. And as you show different ways of doing stuff, that you're showing yourself the way forward. It's much more how it is. And for myself now, especially, I'm making sure that no matter what, I want to help myself to just dwell upon life much greater, because for me it's more about long music than it is short music. I'd rather produce something long in terms of music, but there's a long way to go to music production, which is a long way, and I never want to rush it. But reading something now in terms of music production does help me move forward, and I'm learning how to have a great time with myself, and I'm learning how to help myself to do a greater job. But Orjan Nilsen did help me in different ways, she did show me how to make special effects and stuff like that. And I'm learning very quickly around life, so I realised I go learn with Koma in the studio and go see what he's doing in terms of music production and stuff like that, so I can learn how to make a music track. But it's more how it is, and you guys have to be available to make music, and you have to be doing something to succeed. And it's more how I make all these excuses, guys, to stay away from the 9-to-5 job, and it's more how I need to be doing that to see exactly what my future holds for me. But since I understand my future right now much better, that shows me, hey, actually popularity is never working out for me much. I understand that. I'm understanding 9 to 5 work is coming up for me. I'm understanding family life and my mum's side of the family is coming up for me. So I'm understanding straight away. I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm learning to help myself, yeah? I'm learning to have a great time with myself. So what I'm doing is enjoying myself in the process of life. But since I actually understand something, and since I understand how to live my life much greater, I'm never going backwards, I'm never falling backwards, I'm moving forwards, I'm making sure I'm learning very quickly about love and devotion toward my heart, to make sure that my heart never has any poisons, and it's the least I can do, and it's just the way it is. And no matter what, I'm learning very quickly that at most I can do everything to help myself, and that's just something that I feel different about, and I'm learning very quickly about life, and I'm enjoying myself in the process of life. So no matter what I'm doing, I'm learning.